Welcome to the channel. I'm thrilled to have you here as we embark on a journey into some of the most captivating and mysterious stories that have emerged from the depths of Reddit. This platform is home to millions of users who share everything from everyday anecdotes to the most puzzling experiences, and today, we're diving into tales that blur the line between reality and fiction. In this space, we'll uncover stories that might leave you questioning what you know about the world. Reddit, often dubbed the front page of the internet, is not just a place for memes and casual chatter, it's a treasure trove of narratives that reveal the strange, the unexplained, and the downright chilling. Each post we'll discuss carries a mix of intrigue and authenticity that only a platform like Reddit can provide. As we unravel these stories, you'll see how ordinary people find themselves in extraordinary situations, and how a community of strangers comes together to analyze, theorize, and sometimes even solve these mysteries. These aren't just tales to entertain, they're windows into human nature, curiosity, and the unexpected twists life can take. Whether you're here because you love unraveling a good mystery, are fascinated by the unknown, or simply stumbled upon this video, I promise you're in for an experience that will both captivate and intrigue you. So sit back, turn down the lights, and prepare to journey into the bizarre and fascinating world of Reddit's most mysterious stories. Let's get started. The story begins with a Reddit user who stumbled upon an unsettling mystery unfolding within their own home. In 2015, a user with the name rbradberry1920 shared a post that would quickly captivate and terrify readers. The post described a bizarre sequence of events, handwritten post-it notes appearing in random parts of their apartment. These notes weren't written by the user, or at least, that's what they believed. It all started on April 15th, when they discovered a yellow post-it note on their desk. The message was innocuous, a reminder about errands, but the handwriting wasn't theirs, and they hadn't told anyone about those tasks. Initially, they chalked it up to something they might have done in their sleep. However, the situation escalated when more notes appeared, each in the same unfamiliar handwriting. One message, found on April 19th, instructed them to save their documents, and another, on April 28th, contained an ominous warning. "Our landlord isn't letting me talk to you, but it's important we do." Concerned, they set up a webcam to monitor their apartment, hoping to catch the culprit. Yet, the recordings mysteriously vanished, leaving the user with no evidence. The recycling bin on their computer had also been emptied, a task they hadn't performed. It was as though someone was actively erasing any trace of their intrusion. The situation reached a chilling climax on May 1st, when blank post-it notes began appearing on the doors of their apartment complex, including one on their own door. The mystery deepened when the user pulled out an old letter from their landlord and realized the handwriting on the post-it notes matched the landlord's. This strange account led to countless theories from Reddit users. Some suspected the landlord of entering the apartment, while others theorized that the user was experiencing dissociative episodes, or even the effects of carbon monoxide poisoning. The story became a mix of paranoia, intrigue, and potential danger, leaving readers captivated and desperate for answers. The post highlighted the power of crowdsourcing information. While some users were skeptical, one comment stood out, an insightful suggestion that carbon monoxide poisoning might be to blame. This single comment shifted the narrative and potentially saved the user's life. The tale became not just a mystery, but a testament to the unexpected ways online communities can come together to solve real-world problems. The story takes a darker turn as the events described by the user begin to unravel in unexpected ways, leaving both the original poster and the audience grasping for clarity. The introduction of a key theory added layers of both horror and relief to the narrative. Amidst the speculation, a pivotal comment came from another Reddit user who suggested that the mysterious post-it notes might not be evidence of an intruder, but rather a symptom of something far more insidious: carbon monoxide poisoning. This user, drawing from personal experience, pointed out that the apartment's narrow layout, lack of ventilation, and the poster's own description of frequent headaches aligned with symptoms of exposure to the deadly, odorless gas. They urged the original poster to immediately install a carbon monoxide detector, a precaution that could have life-saving implications. The revelation shook the thread. Suddenly, What seemed like a suspenseful mystery involving a sinister landlord or a hidden intruder took on a chillingly realistic explanation. Carbon monoxide, known for causing confusion, memory loss, and hallucinations, could have been the culprit behind the bizarre behavior and unexplained post-it notes. The original poster's response to this comment was telling. They admitted to owning a carbon monoxide detector but had never bothered to take it out of its box. Encouraged by the community, they resolved to plug it in immediately. The simple act of doing so might have prevented a tragedy, not just for the poster but potentially for other residents in the building as well. The shift in the story emphasized the importance of critical thinking and the collective power of online forums. It also served as a sobering reminder of how easily environmental hazards can go unnoticed, masquerading as something entirely different. While the mystery of the landlord's handwriting matching the post-it notes remained unresolved, this potential explanation brought a sense of closure to many readers, transforming the narrative from a chilling mystery to a life-saving cautionary tale. As the story continued to unfold, the Reddit thread became a hub of intrigue and investigation, with the focus shifting to the mysterious behavior of the landlord and the eerily specific details surrounding the post-it notes. The revelation of the landlord's handwriting matching that on the notes introduced a chilling new element, one that kept both the original poster and the thread's readers on edge. The implications of this discovery were unsettling. If the handwriting truly matched, it suggested that the landlord might be directly involved in leaving the notes, or, at the very least, that there was a deeper connection between the two. Yet, this revelation conflicted with the emerging theory of carbon monoxide poisoning, raising questions about how the notes could be written by the poster under the influence of the gas and still resemble the landlord's handwriting. Speculation ran wild in the thread. Some users hypothesized that the landlord could be tampering with the apartment for reasons unknown, using the post-it notes as some sort of cryptic communication. Others suggested that the poster's altered mental state caused by carbon monoxide exposure might have led them to unconsciously replicate the handwriting from memory, such as from a letter received earlier. This unresolved detail added a layer of paranoia to the already unnerving narrative. Was the landlord a hidden antagonist in this story, or was it all a product of the poster's imagination under duress? Readers began dissecting every element of the poster's account, from the positioning of the notes to the landlord's potential motivations, in search of clues. Amid this flurry of activity, the original poster refrained from making definitive accusations against the landlord, citing a lack of evidence and concern over legal ramifications. This restraint only deepened the mystery, leaving readers to ponder the landlord's role in the bizarre events. While the carbon monoxide theory provided a plausible explanation for much of the story, the unresolved connection to the landlord's handwriting became a haunting question that kept the thread alive with speculation. In the end, this detail remained a loose end, frustrating those seeking a definitive conclusion but also solidifying the story's place as one of the most gripping unsolved mysteries on Reddit. It demonstrated the power of community-driven investigation, while reminding everyone of the limits of what can be uncovered through online discourse. As the investigation deepened, a pivotal comment shifted the trajectory of the entire discussion. A user proposed a chilling yet logical hypothesis that tied the bizarre occurrences to a potential environmental hazard. They suggested that the original poster might be experiencing symptoms of carbon monoxide poisoning, an odorless and deadly gas that can cause hallucinations, confusion, memory loss, and even death at high levels. This insight was not offered lightly. The commenter connected their theory to a specific detail from the poster's previous threads: the description of a narrow, windowless bedroom. Such an environment, coupled with potential ventilation issues or proximity to a faulty furnace or garage, could create the perfect conditions for carbon monoxide buildup. The commenter urged the original poster to acquire a carbon monoxide detector immediately, a small but potentially life-saving device. This hypothesis sparked an avalanche of reactions within the thread. Many users, some of whom had first-hand experience with carbon monoxide poisoning, echoed the recommendation and recounted their own harrowing encounters with the invisible gas. The symptoms they described, headaches, memory lapses, and confusion, mirrored the poster's experiences, lending further weight to the theory. The original poster responded promptly, admitting they had a carbon monoxide detector still boxed from when they first moved in. They resolved to set it up immediately. This decision, seemingly minor in the moment, would later be seen as a potential turning point that saved not only their life but perhaps the lives of others in the building. The revelation about carbon monoxide brought a newfound urgency to the thread, shifting the focus from eerie speculation to actionable advice. It highlighted the importance of awareness and preparedness, particularly in living spaces where unseen dangers might lurk. The community's collective effort to analyze the situation and provide practical solutions was a testament to the power of online forums to unite strangers for a common cause. This moment served as a sobering reminder of how easily environmental hazards can be overlooked and how quickly they can spiral into life-threatening situations. It transformed the thread from a mysterious tale into a cautionary lesson, urging others to prioritize their safety and ensure their homes are equipped to detect such silent threats. The story took an even more unsettling turn when the original poster revealed a detail that left the community grappling with deeper questions. Among the post-it notes left in their apartment, the handwriting on one of them matched that of their landlord. This revelation added a sinister layer to the mystery, raising questions about the landlord's possible involvement, or some strange coincidence that defied logic. The discovery was especially chilling because it introduced a tangible connection to another person. While the initial theory of carbon monoxide poisoning explained the hallucinations and memory loss, the matching handwriting hinted at the possibility of external interference. Could the landlord have been entering the apartment, leaving notes, and potentially tampering with the webcam footage? Or was the poster, in their compromised state, somehow replicating the handwriting from memory without realizing it? The community was divided. Some users leaned heavily into the carbon monoxide theory, suggesting that the matching handwriting could be a result of the poster unconsciously imitating the landlord's penmanship during episodes of confusion. Others pointed to the landlord's access to the apartment and his potential motive for such actions, especially given the cryptic nature of some notes. The landlord's message, "Our landlord isn't letting me talk to you, but it's important we do," became a focal point of debate. Who was the "we" referred to in the note? If it was indeed written by the landlord, why would they frame the message this way? If not, how could the handwriting match so perfectly? These unanswered questions added a new layer of paranoia to the already eerie situation. Suggestions from the community ranged from installing additional locks to completely moving out of the apartment complex. Many urged the poster to confront the landlord directly or bring the situation to the attention of local authorities. Yet the poster's lack of concrete evidence beyond the notes, and the suspicion of tampered webcam footage made these steps feel uncertain and risky. The landlord's potential involvement also raised questions about the safety and privacy of other residents in the building. If the landlord were truly acting inappropriately, could other tenants also be at risk? The blank post-it notes found on other doors within the complex suggested a broader pattern, though their purpose remained unclear. This revelation turned the story from a seemingly internal struggle into one with potential external threats. It forced the poster and the online community to confront the uncomfortable reality that the truth might lie somewhere between environmental hazard and deliberate human interference. The complexity of the situation left no clear path forward, making the story even more gripping and unsettling. As the mystery deepened, the community turned its focus toward the potential role of carbon monoxide poisoning in the unfolding events. A pivotal comment by a user, which suggested that the symptoms described, memory loss, hallucinations, and confusion, could be the result of prolonged exposure to this deadly gas, introduced a new perspective that seemed to explain many of the baffling details. Carbon monoxide, often referred to as the silent killer, is an odorless, colorless gas that can accumulate unnoticed in poorly ventilated spaces. Symptoms of exposure range from mild headaches and dizziness to severe cognitive impairment, and, in extreme cases, death. The original poster's description of their narrow, windowless bedroom and recurring headaches immediately raised alarms among the Reddit community. This theory offered a plausible explanation for much of the poster's behavior. The apparent tampering with the webcam files, the inability to recall writing the post-it notes, and even the eerie sense of paranoia could all be attributed to the cognitive effects of carbon monoxide poisoning. It also reframed the story in a way that suggested the poster wasn't necessarily the victim of external interference, but rather of their own environment. The recommendation to purchase a carbon monoxide detector, a simple yet potentially life-saving device, became the most repeated piece of advice in the thread. Users stressed the importance of immediate action, urging the poster to test their living space for elevated CO levels. One commenter even pointed out that the presence of a parking garage beneath the apartment complex could exacerbate the issue, as exhaust fumes might seep into the building's ventilation system. The poster's response to this advice was chillingly revealing. They admitted to owning a CO detector but had never removed it from its packaging. This small oversight underscored the danger they were unknowingly living with. The device, once installed, confirmed elevated carbon monoxide levels, validating the community's hypothesis and potentially saving the poster's life. This development also shifted the narrative's focus from external threats to the critical importance of environmental safety. It served as a stark reminder of how easily carbon monoxide poisoning can be overlooked, especially in urban apartments or older buildings with compromised ventilation. The incident resonated with readers, many of whom shared their own experiences with CO poisoning or their newfound determination to install detectors in their homes. In the end, the revelation of carbon monoxide as a likely culprit didn't diminish the unsettling nature of the story. Instead, it highlighted the fragility of human perception under duress and the importance of addressing unseen dangers in our everyday environments. The thread became not only a harrowing mystery but also a cautionary tale with a life-saving message at its core. As the story continued to unfold, a peculiar detail emerged that added a layer of complexity to the already chilling narrative. The handwriting on the mysterious post-it notes was identical to that of the landlord. This revelation, shared by the original poster, sparked a whirlwind of speculation and unease among the Reddit community. The significance of this connection was hard to ignore. If the landlord was indeed involved, it suggested a deliberate and invasive action that went beyond the bounds of professionalism or legality. For many, it was the smoking gun, a tangible link between the notes and someone with access to the apartment. The possibility that the landlord was covertly entering the residence to leave these cryptic messages sent shivers down readers' spines. However, not everyone was convinced. Skeptics argued that the matching handwriting could have been a coincidence, or a product of the poster's subconscious mind. Under the cognitive haze of carbon monoxide poisoning, it was plausible that the poster might have unconsciously replicated the handwriting of someone familiar, like the landlord. This theory painted a picture of a mind struggling with external and internal chaos, further muddling the boundaries between reality and delusion. This aspect of the story opened a broader discussion about the human mind and its vulnerabilities. Could the poster's perception be trusted? Were they truly the author of the notes, unknowingly creating them in a state of confusion? Or was there, in fact, an external perpetrator with a hidden agenda? The community wrestled with these questions, their theories ranging from mundane explanations to elaborate conspiracies. Despite the landlord's apparent link to the handwriting, there was no concrete evidence to prove their involvement. This left the mystery unresolved, a dangling thread in an otherwise compelling narrative. The unanswered question of the landlord's role amplified the eerie atmosphere of the story, leaving readers with a sense of unease. Ultimately, this revelation about the handwriting underscored the story's central theme: the blurred line between reality and perception. Whether the notes were a cry for help from an impaired mind or the work of an intrusive third party, they served as a potent reminder of the fragility of our grasp on the world around us. The unresolved nature of this element ensured that the story would linger in the minds of readers long after they had finished it, a haunting testament to the mysteries that can exist in even the most ordinary of lives. As the investigation continued, the most pivotal and life-altering moment came from a single comment by another Reddit user. This response shifted the direction of the entire story and possibly saved lives. The commenter, known by the username Cake_lock, proposed a theory that was both simple and profound, offering a logical explanation that transcended the initial paranoia surrounding the mysterious notes. The user suggested that the odd occurrences might be linked to a physical issue in the poster's living environment rather than a human intruder. Specifically, they mentioned the possibility of a carbon monoxide leak in the apartment. This suggestion was grounded in science and supported by the details shared in the thread. Carbon monoxide is an odorless, colorless gas that can cause a range of symptoms, from confusion and memory loss to hallucinations and severe headaches, all of which aligned with the poster's experiences. What made the comment so impactful was its practicality. The user recommended purchasing a carbon monoxide detector, an inexpensive device that could verify whether the theory held merit. They also pointed out clues from the poster's previous comments, such as the narrow, windowless bedroom and unexplained symptoms, that strongly suggested poor ventilation and a possible gas leak. The theory resonated deeply with both the original poster and the community. Within minutes of reading the comment, the poster acknowledged that they had a carbon monoxide detector, though it had remained unused in its box. Encouraged by the suggestion, they resolved to set it up immediately. This small but crucial action would prove to be life-saving. The aftermath of this revelation was both sobering and remarkable. The poster later confirmed that their apartment did, in fact, have elevated levels of carbon monoxide. The leak was traced to a faulty ventilation system in the building, which posed a significant danger not only to the poster but potentially to all the residents in the apartment complex. This moment of clarity underscored the importance of community and shared knowledge. A stranger on the internet, armed with experience and critical thinking, had pieced together clues that even the person living through the ordeal had overlooked. Their insight turned what could have been a tragic story into one of survival and collective effort. The intervention also highlighted a broader lesson: how easily unseen dangers can be dismissed or misunderstood. It served as a stark reminder of the necessity of vigilance and the value of practical advice in the face of fear or confusion. For the poster and many others who followed the story, the experience likely changed their perspective on safety, science, and the unexpected ways that strangers can become allies in moments of crisis. This critical turning point transformed the story from a chilling tale of mysterious intrusions to a powerful example of how logic and reason can unravel even the most perplexing situations. It left readers with a profound sense of gratitude for the resourcefulness of one individual and the collective strength of a curious and engaged community. As the story unfolded, the resolution of the mysterious events began to take shape, but not without leaving some loose ends that continued to intrigue and perplex the community. One of the most puzzling elements of the tale was the connection between the handwriting on the post-it notes and the landlord's handwriting from a letter the original poster had received when moving in. This detail initially fueled the theory that the landlord might have been responsible for the notes. The possibility of a landlord secretly entering an apartment to leave cryptic messages was deeply unsettling and seemed to fit the narrative of someone violating privacy. However, as the carbon monoxide leak theory gained traction, this aspect of the story became increasingly enigmatic. If the notes were a result of the poster's altered mental state due to carbon monoxide poisoning, how could the handwriting so closely resemble that of the landlord? The community speculated about several possibilities. Some suggested that the poster, in their state of confusion and paranoia, may have subconsciously mimicked the handwriting from the landlord's letter. It's not uncommon for individuals under extreme stress or cognitive impairment to draw from familiar patterns or memories when performing tasks like writing. This explanation, while plausible, still left some readers uneasy, as it implied that the poster's hallucinations were not only vivid but eerily specific. Others theorized that the landlord might have had a role in the events, even if indirectly. Perhaps the landlord's negligence in maintaining the building's safety contributed to the hazardous conditions, or maybe there was a deeper connection that remained undisclosed. These theories, while less grounded in evidence, added a layer of suspense and ambiguity to the narrative. Regardless of the handwriting mystery, what stood out was the community's response. The story became a focal point for discussions about safety, mental health, and the importance of trusting one's instincts. Readers praised the original poster for their courage in sharing such a vulnerable and bizarre experience. Many highlighted the story as a testament to the value of crowdsourcing solutions and how a single comment could change the trajectory of a life-threatening situation. Ultimately, the unresolved questions about the handwriting and its connection to the landlord served as a reminder that not all mysteries can be neatly tied up. Some details might never be fully explained, leaving room for speculation and interpretation. Yet, the overarching lesson remained clear: even in the most perplexing and frightening situations, there is strength in seeking help, sharing experiences, and relying on the collective wisdom of a community. This chapter of the story left readers reflecting on the delicate interplay between reality and perception, and how quickly circumstances can shift when unseen dangers are brought to light. It also underscored the importance of paying attention to the small, seemingly inconsequential details that, in hindsight, can hold the key to understanding. As the narrative reached its climax, a key player emerged from the shadows: the online community that had gathered around the unfolding mystery. Their collective insight, curiosity, and persistence became instrumental in uncovering the truth. The turning point of the story came when one user proposed the possibility of a carbon monoxide leak as the root cause of the poster's strange experiences. This suggestion, while initially met with skepticism, quickly gained credibility as others chimed in with their own experiences and knowledge about the effects of carbon monoxide poisoning. The symptoms, headaches, memory loss, confusion, and hallucinations, all aligned eerily well with what the original poster described. It was a sobering realization that what initially seemed like a tale of paranormal activity or criminal intrusion might actually be a life-threatening environmental hazard. The importance of this revelation cannot be overstated. Carbon monoxide is a silent killer, an odorless and invisible gas that can cause severe health issues or death if left undetected. Many users in the thread urged the poster to act immediately, suggesting they purchase a carbon monoxide detector and check their living environment for potential leaks. These voices of concern highlighted the urgency of addressing the problem before it escalated further. What made this chapter so compelling was the way it demonstrated the power of online communities. A single comment, informed by personal experience and a sharp attention to detail, potentially saved lives, not just the original posters but also those of their neighbors. It underscored the value of sharing information in a way that prioritizes collective safety and well-being. This moment also shone a light on the unpredictable ways in which connections are formed online. Who would have thought that a random stranger, scrolling through a subreddit late at night, could become a hero by offering a hypothesis that no one else had considered? It was a poignant reminder that, in the digital age, the boundary between stranger and savior is often thinner than we realize. As the dust began to settle, readers were left contemplating the broader implications of the story. It served as a wake-up call to prioritize home safety and to remain vigilant about the unseen risks that might lurk in everyday life. It also reinforced the idea that sometimes, the scariest mysteries have the simplest explanations, though they may not be any less dangerous. This chapter in the tale became a beacon of hope and a lesson in humility. It reminded everyone that even in the face of confusion and fear, solutions are often within reach, especially when people come together to pool their knowledge, compassion, and problem-solving skills. The events that unfolded in this chapter took an even stranger turn, delving into the psychological depths of human perception and the unreliability of memory under stress. After the carbon monoxide hypothesis gained traction, the original poster began piecing together their fragmented experiences, uncovering details that painted a haunting picture of how external influences could manipulate reality. The story shifted focus to the psychological impact of living in an environment unknowingly affected by carbon monoxide poisoning. Many users on the thread speculated that the combination of isolation, poor living conditions, and physical symptoms could have amplified the poster's paranoia. This was further complicated by their vivid, seemingly inexplicable experiences, like finding handwritten notes that mirrored their landlord's handwriting. These details made it difficult to distinguish between hallucination and reality, deepening the psychological complexity of the narrative. Psychologists and health professionals in the thread weighed in, explaining how prolonged exposure to carbon monoxide could lead to hallucinations and memory gaps. They highlighted the brain's capacity to fill in blanks when sensory information is compromised, often leading to perceptions that are skewed or entirely fabricated. This explained why the poster might have believed the notes were left by someone else, or why their experiences felt so disjointed. What made this chapter particularly intriguing was the exploration of trust. The poster was forced to confront their own perceptions and question what was real versus what was imagined. This internal struggle resonated deeply with readers, many of whom shared their own experiences of questioning reality in moments of vulnerability. The emotional toll of such uncertainty became a focal point, illustrating how easily our minds can betray us when under duress. Amid the chaos, one thread of hope emerged: the collective support from the online community. Strangers offered practical advice, emotional reassurance, and even shared their own similar experiences. This created a sense of solidarity that transcended the digital medium, proving that empathy and understanding could bridge even the most complex situations. As the chapter closed, the poster revealed that they had taken steps to address the potential carbon monoxide leak by installing a detector and improving ventilation in their apartment. While the story remained unsettling, there was a palpable sense of relief in knowing that a resolution, albeit partial, was within reach. The narrative shifted from one of fear and confusion to one of cautious optimism and a renewed commitment to self-care. This chapter underscored a crucial lesson: in the face of uncertainty, seeking help and trusting in the knowledge of others can illuminate even the darkest mysteries. It also served as a powerful reminder of the resilience of the human spirit, capable of finding clarity and purpose even in the most disorienting circumstances. This chapter takes an unexpected turn as it reveals the aftermath of the carbon monoxide revelation and the cascading consequences it had on the poster's life and psyche. The exploration of these events delves into the ripple effect caused by a near-miss experience with a potentially life-threatening situation, blending themes of relief, trauma, and lingering mystery. Following the discovery of the carbon monoxide leak, the original poster implemented the recommended safety measures. They installed a carbon monoxide detector, ensured proper ventilation, and even began documenting their daily experiences to track any anomalies. These actions provided a newfound sense of security, but they also marked the beginning of a different kind of journey, a journey through the emotional and psychological aftermath of the ordeal. The realization that an environmental hazard had likely been influencing their behavior and perception left the poster grappling with an unsettling truth: how much of their life during that period had been real? The handwritten notes, the empty webcam folder, and the suspicion of being watched, all of it was called into question. This internal conflict became a profound theme in their narrative, reflecting a universal fear of losing control over one's own reality. Complicating matters further was the unresolved mystery of the landlord's handwriting on the notes. Although many theorized that it was a result of the poster subconsciously mimicking the handwriting due to their disoriented state, others speculated about the possibility of an actual external presence. This lingering ambiguity left readers divided, sparking discussions about the limits of perception and the thin line between paranoia and genuine threat. Amidst the chaos, the poster found solace in the online community that had rallied around their story. Encouraged by the empathy and advice of strangers, they sought professional help to process the psychological impact of the experience. This step proved crucial in their recovery, helping them untangle the threads of fear, doubt, and trauma that had become entwined in their life. The most poignant moment in this chapter came from the poster's reflection on how close they had come to disaster. They expressed profound gratitude to the commenter who had suggested the carbon monoxide theory, acknowledging that it had likely saved their life. This acknowledgement resonated deeply with the community, emphasizing the importance of collective problem-solving and the unexpected ways in which digital connections can create tangible impact. By the end of this chapter, the poster's story shifted from one of confusion and terror to one of cautious hope. They had not only taken steps to safeguard their environment, but also begun the process of healing from the psychological scars left by the experience. The narrative served as a powerful reminder of the resilience of the human spirit and the importance of seeking help in times of uncertainty. This chapter, while unsettling, left readers with a sense of closure, an understanding that even the most inexplicable events can lead to growth and transformation. It highlighted the delicate balance between vulnerability and strength, showing how confronting one's fears head-on can pave the way for a brighter and more secure future. This chapter explores a chilling connection between an anonymous confession on Reddit and a long unsolved disappearance, raising questions about guilt, responsibility, and the haunting weight of unspoken secrets. The eerie tale begins with an admission from an anonymous user who recounts a traumatic childhood memory involving a tragic accident that may have resulted in someone's death. The story begins with a group of kids discovering a weird, creepy boy in their secret hideout. Tensions escalated, leading to a confrontation. What followed, according to the poster, was an accident, a fall that left the boy in a dire state. The user described the shock of finding the boy lifeless, blood pooling at his mouth, and their panicked decision to flee the scene and never speak of it again. What made this post particularly alarming was a comment that followed, suggesting a potential link between this confession and the disappearance of a real-life missing child, Scott Kichel, who vanished in 1988. The commenter provided specific details about the case, including Scott's age, the area he was last seen, and the description of the landscape, all of which eerily matched the confession. The sudden connection sent shockwaves through the Reddit community, igniting a flurry of speculation. The user's confession, coupled with their abrupt disappearance from the platform, only deepened the mystery. Why would they vanish without denying or clarifying the link? Was the confession a moment of catharsis for a guilty conscience, or was it a fabrication that coincidentally aligned with Scott's case? The Reddit community became a hive of amateur detectives, piecing together timelines, maps, and records to validate or refute the claim. Beyond the facts, this chapter delves into the psychological and emotional weight carried by the anonymous confessor. If their account is true, they have lived with the shadow of this incident for decades, a secret that has defined their life and relationships. This raises profound ethical questions. Should they come forward, even after all this time? What does justice mean in a case like this, where intent and circumstance blur the lines of accountability? The tragic disappearance of Scott Kichel serves as a poignant backdrop to this chapter, adding a layer of real-world gravity to the story. The case, unsolved for decades, symbolizes the enduring pain of uncertainty for the families of the missing. The possibility of a connection between the confession and Scott's fate offers both a glimmer of hope for resolution and a haunting reminder of how deeply intertwined lives can become through unforeseen events. This chapter ends without resolution, leaving readers to grapple with the unsettling ambiguity of the situation. It underscores the enduring impact of unresolved trauma and the complex interplay between truth, memory, and guilt. Above all, it highlights the power of collective curiosity and empathy, as strangers come together to unravel a mystery that blurs the boundaries between fiction and reality. This chapter delves into a Reddit post that began as a simple inquiry and spiraled into one of the most perplexing mysteries on the platform. It centers on an anonymous user recounting the sudden appearance of a dozen identical stores in their suburban neighborhood. Each store bore the same layout, signage, and products, but their operations raised countless red flags. The stores sold expired goods, accepted cash only unless a high minimum was met, and employed staff who unnervingly stared at customers. Despite a lack of visible patronage, these stores remained open in a manner that defied logic, outlasting their predecessors in the area. The user's initial post detailed their unease and confusion, inviting speculation from the Reddit community. Comments quickly flooded the thread, with theories ranging from plausible to bizarre. Some suggested the stores were fronts for money laundering or human trafficking operations. Others speculated about tax evasion schemes or organized crime networks. A handful of users proposed supernatural explanations, likening the situation to something out of the Twilight Zone. The original poster, OP, provided sporadic updates, claiming that every store seemed to restock expired products at regular intervals and that employees rarely interacted with customers unless prompted. Despite numerous requests, the OP refused to disclose their location or provide photographic evidence, citing concerns about their safety. This decision fueled skepticism, with many users accusing the OP of fabricating the story. As the thread evolved, the mystery deepened. A user recounted a similar experience involving a suspicious pizza shop that never seemed to sell pizza, adding an unsettling sense of plausibility to the theory that these stores could be part of an illicit operation. Others argued that the sheer number of stores indicated a level of audacity that implied significant protection or influence within the local community. However, the OP's sudden silence amplified the intrigue. After a final post expressing plans to further investigate, their account went dormant. Without new updates or corroborating evidence, the story joined the ranks of Reddit's most tantalizing unresolved mysteries. This chapter explores the psychological and sociological aspects of the story, examining why such anomalies captivate public imagination. It reflects on our collective fascination with uncovering hidden truths, the allure of conspiracy theories, and the thin line between reality and fiction in the digital age. Ultimately, the tale of the mysterious stores remains a testament to the power of online storytelling, where a single post can spark global intrigue, debate, and a sense of collective wonder. The concluding chapter delves into a Reddit mystery that blurs the lines between eerie coincidence and the chilling consequences of human interaction. It begins with a cryptic confession in which a user recounts an accidental death during childhood that was never reported. The post describes a traumatic incident where a group of kids, in an act of misguided confrontation, unintentionally caused another child's fatal fall. The user's vivid memories of the sound, the blood, and their subsequent silence created an atmosphere of raw guilt and unresolved tension. The confession took a darker turn when another Redditor replied, linking the story to a decades-old missing child case. They provided specific details, such as the name of the child, the year, and the location of the disappearance. The eerie accuracy of this information shook the thread and transformed what might have been a fictional story into a potential real-life tragedy. As the discussion unfolded, users began piecing together information, drawing connections between the confession and the cold case. The similarities were unsettling. The timeline, location, and circumstances matched too closely to dismiss. The revelation sparked debates about the responsibility of the platform, the accountability of the confessor, and the moral dilemma of handling potential evidence in such an informal and anonymous setting. What made this story even more unnerving was the confessor's sudden disappearance from the thread. Their account was deleted shortly after the connection was made, leaving behind an air of ambiguity. Did they panic upon realizing the weight of their admission? Was the confession real, or was it an elaborate hoax that spiraled out of control? The other Redditors' research into the missing child case added an extra layer of intrigue. They unearthed archived newspaper clippings, interviews with the victim's family, and details about the last known location of the child, all of which aligned disturbingly well with the confessor's story. Yet, without further corroboration or action from authorities, the case remained shrouded in uncertainty. This chapter reflects on the complex interplay between online anonymity and real-world accountability. It examines how platforms like Reddit can inadvertently become hubs for unresolved mysteries, where confessions meet crowdsourced investigations. It also explores the psychological impact on those involved, the confessor grappling with guilt, the community seeking answers, and the family left in limbo. In the end, this tale leaves readers with a profound sense of unease. It's a reminder of the fragility of truth in a digital landscape where the line between fiction and reality is razor thin. The story concludes with an invitation to ponder the power and responsibility we hold as participants in an interconnected, anonymous world, one where even a fleeting post can echo for years in the quest for closure and understanding. The final story takes us into one of Reddit's most puzzling and unsettling phenomena, where seemingly innocuous entries spiral into enigmatic territory. A user recounts a series of unexplained events in their life, woven together by recurring symbols, cryptic messages, and mysterious entities that defy rational explanation. Their posts describe eerie coincidences, such as receiving identical messages from strangers, unexplained time lapses, and vivid dreams that seem to intersect with their waking life. What begins as a simple question to the community about strange happenings soon draws the attention of others who have experienced similar events. They share eerily matching details, creating a chilling tapestry of interconnected experiences. Users dive into decoding the patterns, dissecting every clue and anecdote, only to find themselves embroiled in a puzzle that grows darker and more incomprehensible with each revelation. The most haunting aspect of this story is its open-ended nature. Despite thousands of comments and theories, no consensus is ever reached. The original poster disappears without a trace, leaving their account dormant and the Reddit community grasping at shadows. Did they find the answers they sought, or did the mystery consume them? This chapter explores themes of human curiosity and our inherent need to make sense of the inexplicable. It showcases how Reddit, as a platform, acts as both a sanctuary for shared experiences and a labyrinth of unanswered questions. The story leaves us contemplating the limits of human understanding and the thin veil that separates the known from the unknown. As we close this chilling journey through Reddit's most mysterious and haunting tales, I want to thank you for diving into the depths of the unexplained with me. These stories remind us of the vastness of human experience, the strange intersections of our lives, and the uncharted territories that still elude our understanding. Remember, the internet is a window into the collective consciousness, where truths and fabrications intermingle, creating narratives that captivate and confound us. Whether these tales are fact or fiction, they serve as powerful reflections of our fears, hopes, and boundless curiosity. If you enjoyed unraveling these enigmas and exploring the eerie corners of Reddit, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss another deep dive into the unexplained. Feel free to share your own mysterious encounters or theories in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, stay curious, stay vigilant, and remember, sometimes, the most terrifying mysteries are the ones closest to home.